building the Dominus box set. We're going to continue our review of it. I apologize that it's taken me a while to do this. If you guys can continue to be patient with me, we're going to try to build as much as we can. I'm going to do a little bit of Blood Bowl painting if I have time to do that. I apologize that I took a little bit of a longer break between videos. I actually don't feel very good. So I'm going to just bear with me for this video because I'm going to try to go as long as I can. Oh, God. I have a wicked stomach ache, so I'm going to just see how it goes. But we are building the larger of one of the units in the box. One of the bigger generals. I am trying to see where we need to be. Now, for folks that don't know, this box set contains the snap together models. So technically for this box set, you may or may not need glue. I will say that even with the snap together models, it is usually still a good idea to do some gluing. I don't rely on just no glue. But we'll see how it goes. Also, what tends to be true about the snap together models as well is that the seams, that's why you want the glue, because the glue helps. We got a delicate piece there. Crap. Yeah, there's a lot of delicate pieces on this sprue. Again, I love Warhammer models. I always did have, but jeez Louise, it is a tough uphill battle sometimes. With the model and with what you got to get out of it. Jesus. It is very, very hard to get that out. I think the way to do this is to go, backwise. Sometimes it's easier to actually do it from the back of the model. The only reason I am sometimes hesitant to do it this way, is that you sometimes will miss, or you could shave by accident a part of the model, but no, for little details like this guy, this is gonna, oh, there it is. And it did snap off. Oh no, the time I actually did it without it snapping off. Usually I'm terrible at these. Am I like... Did I get the... I cut his ear off as well. Alright. Sorry, guys. I was trying to do my best to get that out of there. It was such a delicate little build. Alright, so what do we got here? 6. Yeah, they have amazing detail on this model, but it is a tough model. That's 7. I'm looking for 6. So if you're building 6 is actually the pillar. Oh, Jesus. Is the scenery piece. This looks a little bit better. Yeah, there is 60 models in this box in total, so we have a lot to build. Figured I'd get the bigger guys out of the way. Now again, because it's the snap together models, it is theoretically, you know, like I said, not required to use glue. Although the box does not say that. Usually when it's the snap together models, the box will indicate that it is a no glue situation. But it doesn't say that. It doesn't say, because here's what the issue with the snap togethers are. And regardless if I use glue or not, it would still be there. But the snap togethers usually suffer from the same problem, which is that you don't have a lot of footing or a lot of ways to push the model together to get it really flush. So you get these like pretty nasty looking seams, which I'm not always a huge fan of. And then you also get stuff like this, where there's like a hook in there. I don't know if you guys could see that. But there's a hook together model. So it does a pretty good job. And when you sandwich the other side to it, it's going to keep it together. But I always like to sometimes throw a little dab of glue in there. I'm not going to this time because actually the way they've constructed this guy, it does work out pretty well. So I've been actually kind of impressed with the way that they're doing this stuff. But the key to success with this, and I'll show you guys in a minute once I get this one out, is also when you're cutting the sprues to be very cognizant and careful of the little nubs. Because those nubs are going to be the thing those little nubs are going to be the things that get and keep your model together. So if you cut them off, that's going to cause a huge problem for when you got to get the rest of this model together. So keep that in mind when you're cutting your sprue. So you got to really, really be careful how you cut. And also, as just a little bit of like pro tips with sprues, if you have any hanging pieces like that, always try to cut those before you cut out the big mass to get it out, because those very delicate plastic pieces, if you don't, sometimes the stress of taking it out of the sprue will actually snap them. Because I would love to say that GW uses, you know, the highest grade plastic across the land, but they kind of don't. You know, it's why a lot of other companies tend to use resin. I have to see what's still attached. Sorry, guys. And other materials rather than plastic, because plastic is more soft. It bends. Resin doesn't. But resin is more expensive to produce. So now another thing too, when you're lining up your snap togethers, you want to just make sure they're lined up properly. But you can see it does a pretty good job. Like, everything is snapping together properly. We don't actually have too many seams. It's just that really nasty like wall seam, but for the most part, the figure itself doesn't have a lot of seams, which is a good thing. All right, so Alright, so I definitely have to get this guy out. And I figured we'd do some of the specialty units, probably build a few of those, and then like I said, we'll roll into painting something, because I know you guys love it when I paint. Not that you don't like when I build models, but I know you guys like it more when you see me painting stuff. And as always, if you have questions about the new edition of Age of Sigmar, if you want to talk about the models themselves, I'm of course excited about this box, because I am a die-hard orc player. So to have more, orc models to throw in my arsenal and to have a whole new faction of orcs is just super exciting. So I am ready to go. And as the tagline implies, these are the orcs that stand up straight. So it wants me to put, it's looking for I-9, as the instructions are telling me. Oh, there it is. It's funny how you could look at a sprue for like 5-10 minutes not see the one thing you're supposed to see. See, now this is where it gets a little tricky. So, okay, so what I want to do is I want to look at the back. Yeah, okay, so that is 100%. That is 100% a sprue. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a nub of any kind that we would need to attach the piece with, because that's what you have to be careful with the snap to fits. You know, you may come into that situation where okay, so the way... Oh, that's sneaky. Alright, so you have to put this like this. Because that's the back... Oh, wow, that's the back of him. Okay. And then you have to put this... this is... Alright, so this is wacky. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, boy. Alright, so this has got to... Right, so here's a good example. Like, now, me, personally, I might stick some glue in there, but essentially when we snap it together, it will all snap together. But it's this weird... I mean, I like that it's a non-glue set. And it is interesting, the snap to fit. They're doing this now with the boxes. Wow, is it 11 that I need for the next? Yeah, it is. They're doing this with all the newer boxes. They're making it these snap together kits, which I think is kind of cool, because what it does is it is nice to bring someone into the hobby with a little less maintenance. So you can theoretically build this box a little quicker than your average box, which is nice. Like, I'm not gonna fault... Oh, geez. I'm not gonna fault GW for that one. Okay, so I think... No. Okay, so this... Oh, okay. Oh, and then that... Wow, look at that. So you gotta... Ooh, this is... Okay, that's a nuance. That's a nuance right there. All right, there we go. Then I got it. So you can see, once you get it in there... It does, for the most part, snap in pretty nicely. Now you got to be careful as you're pushing. See, this is the part I don't like. All right, so for the most part, that looks good. Wow, that's insane. So you had to loop that in to connect that. Okay. I mean, it looks insane, though. The model looks really good. Oh, you're like pretty... Really? That's fast. All right, so 12 is his head, which of course is extremely delicate. I'll show you guys the head. It's got like all the areas that I hate to pull out of a sprue. It's got all this like fine, ornate stuff. I'm just gonna pop this on now. And in true GW fashion, I have like nowhere to push down to push this in. Because you don't want to push down on the wrong pieces. But that's, wow, look at that thing. Look at how crazy that looks. I mean, the sculpt is nuts. And like I said, these orcs are essentially, so to put them in perspective, they're essentially Warhammer's version of the Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings. So if you think of how in Lord of the Rings there was a set of orcs, there was like a more advanced species of orc that, if you read the actual books, is implied that it is birthed from man. I think that is what they did here as well. Where it was birthed by man. Let's see what we got here. So they're saying and that's, oh geez, and that's why the tagline for these orcs is they're the orcs that stand up. So it implies that they are, see, this is what I'm talking about. You have nowhere to push when you want to push this stuff in. So you have a tendency to push on pieces of plastic that you can bend, or the little details, because oh my god. There's like no, like, there's nowhere to push on this thing. That's so annoying. Yeah, there's like no, like, there's nowhere to push. Now, whether you glue it or not, it's just like very hard to find an area. But that is awesome, dude. All right, so first model out of the box already together. So we got one of the orcs, the big orc general done. And he's going on a 150 base, so he's on a biggin base. I'm not going to base them right now. We're just going to keep going forward. These must be troop traces. Let me see. One would assume, because I kind of went right beeline for the special character. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, so all Stormcast. So that was the first mod. That's odd. They make you do I, and then they make you bounce to D. That's just weird. I found D. Yeah, it's weird. They make you go from sprue I to sprue D, which I don't really understand that thought process, but all right, well, do I need one? I do. Like I said, I won't do the base. I have the bases in a different part of my studio, so I'm not going to do them right now. I'll just try to build maybe like one more. I'll see what the next thing is. If we start getting into regiments, I'm gonna forego that, but it gives us a nice look. And then, of course, the other part of why I'm excited about this box is we get a bunch of new Stormcast Eternal units which I'll do a proper video on them as well. And also with the Snap Together, you usually get more ornate bases, which are always fun. Sorry, guys. Ugh. I love that. You get like a dead Stormcast on there, which is just dope. I'm excited to play a battle report of the new rules. Some really interesting things that they did. Totally changed the way command points work. Changed a little bit of the phases of the turn. So there's a lot of just cool little things that happen. Oh, we have to build a little... He has like a servant guy that's with him. That's pretty cool. Where's D3? And you tend to find with the Snap Together kits, you have a lot of figures that are built this way where it's... I'm probably going to go the other way on this one. Because then I can see where the sprues are attached better versus the other side where... Because it's a lot of the sprues are dipped down, and they did that because there's curvatures to this piece. Now, for something like this, very rarely do I say the snippers that I have are not good for this type of work. But every once in a while, the snippers I have are just a little too big. And this is, I'm running into that a little bit with these particular models. So you guys will see that. Oh, okay, so this is so it might be hard for you guys to see, but essentially, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it out now. What is happening is the model, so the way no, I'm not gonna be able to get it out. Crap. Alright, so the way the model had to go in, this is why you want to line up those divots before you do stuff, because now there's one of two ways to fix this. I'll show you the easiest way. So it's going to sound counterintuitive, but if I cut that peg off, so I go in and I actually... Alright, so now I have another situation. Yeah. Sorry guys, I know I'm not doing this on camera. Alright, so what I basically had to do... There we go. There we go. So I basically cut one of the pins off because I wasn't lined up properly. So there's still 2 pins that very much are in there, but that gave me the little push so I could get that piece to be flush, so the chin would be flush and everything else would. So I just cut the peg over here. So technically it's not as strong as it would be, but that gets in there, which is the lesson to be learned, that when you're lining up the pegs, make sure you relatively get everything in its proper place before you start pushing. So you ensure that you're putting and you're getting those pegs in properly. That is what I don't like about the snap together models. So sometimes you'll do these snap together models, you'll do that particular what I just did, and it doesn't work very well because you push too hard and you snap all the pins off. It's happened to me a load of times. And then what's worse is if you are gluing, if you do use some glue in there, you'll then have it fused together, and then you're like sitting there trying to get it apart, and you can't. You literally can't now. So then you literally have broken things inside of your model, and it won't stay flush. So you don't get a nice flush model. You get some other BS, which is never. Now this is awesome. I love that there's a trampled Stormcast Eternal there, which is so cool. So just awesome detail. And again, like I said, that is one. I wish that is not. No, that has to be. Yeah, that is. That is one of the nice things about the snap together kits. I'm sorry, guys, it's focusing behind me. Is that you get these like articulated cool bases. And then we have to do D6, which is his foot. So that's this guy right here. And thank you guys for watching with me. You guys are making my stomach feel better. My stomach was feeling a little weird. And then I started painting and building and doing stuff, and it feels a lot better. Maybe it's probably because I'm not focusing on it. Oh, I see. So we got, because he's standing on the armor of the Stormcast. That's pretty cool, actually. Oh. How does that work? Alright, so base plate. Oh, it's like that, I guess. Alright, so like this is a good example. Yeah, of something I'm definitely going to put some glue on, because there's no way that that's going to stay there. It literally just sits on top of the Stormcast. Oh, but... Oh, wait. Where was that piece? Alright, before I pop the glue out, I have my glue next to me. I forgot. We got to shove the guy in there. So, I might have spoke too soon. Because you're going to put him through there. There's going to be a peg that goes through his chest. Yeah, because basically what you're going to do is you're going to put... Yeah, you're going to put him down like that. So he is, in fact, keeping that. Wow, that's just awesome. That's really cool. The models are a hit out of the park. The orc models already totally down, totally in. Like, I am loving these guys. And the Stormcast, I mean, you get a new unit in this box. And I don't know if you guys are up on Warhammer Community, but the announcement of the dragons is insane. I already got one of those dragons coming, so don't you guys worry. We will definitely be building that model, and I'll be painting that. Oh, yes, we will. Because funny enough, that's why I love this box set so much. So funny enough, I am both an Orc player and a Stormcast player. I have both those armies. So I am super excited about this box, and I'm super excited about all the new units. And the fact they're bringing dragons back into the game, which is super, super crazy. I can't believe they're doing that. Dragons have been, you know, obviously dragon units or pieces haven't been in, you know, Age of Sigmar since we came out of the days of fantasy. So to see them, I mean, not that Stormcast Eternals needed any help. They didn't need a giant behemoth, but it's pretty insane. I mean, the model just looks gorgeous. I think I will say that I'm in the same boat as a lot of people online. That and this is his little like Git. I guess we'll call it his like Git assistant. Is maybe the right word. I don't know. But we're building him right now. T12. Oh, does he have a shield? Oh, is it optional? Shoot, I should have. Okay. All right, that's okay. I may play him with a shield roll. So that was an optional. You could have done the shield or the mace. I think it looks cooler with the mace, but you know, I know when we play, I'm not a stickler for everybody. Oh. Sorry, guys. I just dropped one of the pieces. I'm not a stickler for, like, people having to have the exact model. Like, if they, you know, obviously if they put in their list that the guy has a shield, but he doesn't have a shield. Like, I don't usually go after people for stuff like that. I'm just going to cut this out to make my life a little bit easier because he's a smaller piece. So I think I'm going to do one of these jobs. A lot of people frown when I do stuff like this because it leaves the plastic residue, but the issue is that sometimes these pieces are so small that you'll actually hurt the model more if you do try to cut into it. You'll actually cut into the model, so. Okay. Little goblins. I love that he's like a little, I mean, he's essentially a Git. Because if you guys did not know this, if you're new to the world of Games Workshop and 40K and or Sigmar, that's so awesome. I love how that model looks. That's so awesome. All of this reminds me so much of Labyrinth. They're starting, like, the goblins and the Gits are looking so much more like Labyrinth pieces now, which I think is awesome. All right, we'll build the shaman and then we'll call it quits for building tonight because that's like 40 minutes of building. Obviously, you could see with the fact. All right, so where are we going? F, I gotta find now. All right. I know it's not that. Whoa. Is this F? That is F. All right, found it. Now, obviously, this is a new faction of orcs, and of course, they can be played. They are a destruction army. That's 2. And we need 1. That looks amazing. Oh, that's the piece I need. Oh my god, that's crazy. He's got like a skull cloak. That is dope. And as always, guys, please let me know. Oh, and I've done it again. I wanted to thank my sponsor for the video, Undiscovered Realms. So again, they both sponsored this video. And if you guys want to take a look at the other painting video I did tonight, because I promised you guys I was going to do 2 of them, or at least one Marvel Crisis Protocol video and one Age of Sigmar video, or something Games Workshop related. which I think I came through on that promise. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh no, did I cut off the... Oh, shoot. No, okay, so this has to go up here. Okay, so this one's a little tricky. Okay, so I'm assuming... Sorry, guys, I'm trying to... I know I'm not staying in focus of the camera. Oh my god, this is... Alright, this is a tough one. Alright, so... So that's definitely the right hole for it. But there's a stud back there. Alright, hold on. Am I putting it in the wrong stud now? Okay, but that doesn't make any sense. Alright, sorry guys, I'm struggling with this stud. I don't want to break it. Alright, let's just look at something. Hold on. Alright, so this is very weird. The way that this model is put together is very, very odd. Alright. So then... It really does not make a lot of sense from the instructions how I have to do this. And sometimes they do this. They have models. Alright, let's look at this. So... Alright, so that's got to be going in the wrong hole. Because if I look at this... Okay, that wants to go there. Which means that this... I would have thought had to go here. Let me just see if I'm right. Alright, sorry guys. This is like... No. So this looks wrong. Now the secret is, can I get it out? Okay. So was this... No, because that's all wrong. All right. Ah. All right, hold on. Okay. All right. I see. I see. I think I got it now. All right. So this is supposed to go in this hole. Okay. So I will ding Games Workshop on that part of the instruction manual because it is very unclear that you're going in the middle hole. They make it seem like you're going to go over to the side. Now this should go here. Okay, and then that is now that nestles into that. Okay. Wow, because it's got to be slightly slanted. Wow, that's crazy. Cool, super cool. But yeah, that's a very specific fit for all those studs. That's a tough one. So he's a tough model to put together. Okay. It's also kind of unclear. It's unclear how you do the build instruction, but I think I did it the right way. It's just, it's not as clear. So I will ding them on the shaman one. It's not laid out very well. I mean, I got it by looking at it, but it's like very hard to know what step you're on. The other two models I've built so far have been a lot more forgiving. But I will say, from a snap together, the snap together is a lot better than it usually is. Like, this is nice and firm, and they definitely like worked on that so that you don't have to worry about. Whoops. Okay, hold on. So yeah, this is the name of the game with this is, like I said before, if you feel like there's like resistance when you're pushing it in. Now, this particular one, yeah, I was gonna say this particular one is a little on the tougher side, just because of the way it has to go in and the way it has to line up. And again, got to be careful, because you can push on these things and then you can ruin your model. So you got to really be careful what you're pushing on and make sure you're picking flat areas that don't have hanging stuff. But yeah, this is hard. This is a hard model because there is literally nothing for me to grab onto. Yeah, I mean, like, definitely there's some seams that I'm not happy with, but you can see I'm starting to stress stuff because I literally have nothing to grab onto. That's a tough one. All right, F6 and F5. Let's see what we got. So there's F5. But I will say, from a model standpoint, extremely cool. Does he get a little helper too? Oh, he does. He gets a little. Oh, there's 6. He gets a little cauldron get. That's like stirring his cauldron for him, which is pretty cool. All right, so I'm just gonna swing to the other side because it'll be easier. Oh, this is not going to be fun. Yeah, so you have to get that in there. And then this is his arm, so this goes in here. Now, I guess it sits okay. This is another one of those times I might pop glue in there. But from a seam perspective, they did cover all the seams really well. All right. So F7, and then there is some base decoration. Actually, is that true on all of them? Oh, don't tell me that. They did do it on all. not that one, but definitely on the big guy, which means I have to go back and do them. So annoying. So same thing. I should have had the bases out. Sorry, guys. That's my fault. I like forgot. I'm like, oh, I have everything, and then like I literally went. I'm like, oh, I have everything out. I'm good to go, and then like I looked over and I didn't have any of the bases. So that is totally my fault. And if you guys have questions, comments, don't be shy. Don't be quiet. Let me know what's on your mind. Because we're just model building till I'm almost going to ruin these. Yeah, this is hard. This is really hard. He's got a lot of dangling bits. I'm sorry. Very cool model, though. Nice shaman, though. And you can see how just intense. I like how more intense these orcs are in general. I'm just gonna pop out the little weeds that go with it. I'll put that next to him so I know that I have to put that on his base. And now we got to build our little goblin guy. And like I said, I'm just going to do the goblin guy, and then we're going to call it quits for tonight on building, which is a good chunk. I built a nice chunk of the 13. Okay. What I thought was really cool in this box set as well is that they gave you, which they don't normally give you this, but oh, well, that was pretty cool. They give you a base a base template in the rule book. So in the assembly guide, in the front of this guide, so you can know the different bases, because there's a lot of different base sizes in this. I'm just gonna take all the pieces out because I know they all go to this little goblin, since he has no alternative pieces or build or anything. It's just a standard build. I'm curious to read the War Scrolls, which maybe we'll do a separate video with just that stuff. I'll do like a quick little video. Did that all fall on here? That screw is clean. All right, so how does that work? Okay, so ow. So that's crazy. So you put, ow. What can I push on? Okay, is that, damn. His head, it's so annoying. Trying to push on stuff. All right, so you have to push that in. And then push this in. Oh, this is insane. There's so much that you could ruin. Okay. Oh my god. Oh god, no. Don't. Okay, I think I don't know how to push on anything. Like, I literally have his head. Okay, I'm trying not to bend anything on his back. That's crazy. And then you put this for the front of the cauldron here. Why is there... Oh, because you have to put this other thing. Where's that other piece that came... Damn it. Oh, because it's the top of the cauldron. Oh my god, where did that just go? This is insane. This is a really, like, really insane model. Okay. All right, well, let me get my assembly guide out of the way. Hold on, guys. So I get that out of the way, because I'm not going to need that after this, because this is going to be the last model we're going to build. And then we're going to move into some painting, because I know you guys, like I said, I know you guys like to see me paint more than you do building models. I wanted to give you just a little bit of a taste of what the models are like. Okay, so if you got... Oh my god, that's insane. So you had to put a piece for the top of the cauldron, and then you had to put this piece for the bottom of the cauldron, for the other side of the cauldron, so that together it would make a full cauldron. That's very over the top, crazy, but really cool detailed. Of course, he's like the oh Jesus, he's the like mixer, potion mixer for... Yo, have you played Pokemon Unite? Yes, I have. I have a video up already. I did play. I did pretty well. Charizard and Gengar are my two like main characters that I'm really good with. I haven't played as much though. So yeah, so we have our Goblin Mixer. I literally just started playing it yesterday, but I do have a video up, and I will definitely play more of it. Pretty cool. So yeah, these new orcs look savage as hell, and I like that. So I'll give you guys a little painting. So we're gonna do some Blood Bowl model painting, and let's get to it. So we can do a little bit of that, and you guys get to see me paint a little bit. As I said before, I want to say a big shout out and thank you to Undiscovered Realms, where I get all my models and paints from. So I got to keep giving them shout outs and thank yous because they hooked me up. Please check out their website. I have their website down in my below the video. Check them out. They ship anywhere in the United States. I believe they might even ship internationally as well. So, but trying to get to some of the new models from the Blood Bowl Season 2 box set. Figured it was Sigmar related, so we did a little review of some of the new orc models, and I will be building more. I got to get some primer. I'm actually fresh out of primer, so definitely going to be looking to get that going. And probably tomorrow, maybe tomorrow I'll try to play some more Pokemon United if you guys want me to play it on the channel. But a lot of fun. Very, very cool. So it's like, you know, essentially it's Pokemon. It's a Pokemon, you know, MOBA for all intents and purposes. But it's a little bit of a twist because it's a little bit different. It's not like League of Legends where there's lanes of guys going to your stuff. You actually have to score on different objectives with, you know, these goals. Once the goal's scored on enough, then the goal goes away. It's very cool, and you level up. And they actually very much took a lot of the... I was impressed that they really kept a lot of the Pokemon elements of like weakness and other stuff. So they do a lot of really cool things in that regard. You have your levels, you have your level up, you have your evolutions, you have your ultimates, you even have the like learning moves mechanic that you would have in the RPG. So there's like a lot of really cool stuff. So like the typical things that you'd see in a Pokemon title. And of course, these are, going back to what we were talking about earlier, these are the orcs that do not stand up. So that is where that tagline comes from, because traditionally in all of the games, whether you're a 40k player or an Age of Sigmar player, orcs do not stand. They crouch, because they're a little bit more like barbaric creatures. So that is where the tagline for the new ones comes from. Now, whether or not we would see, you know, the newer orcs in something like you know, that we would see them in something like Blood Bowl is soon to be said, but chances are probably not, because Blood Bowl sort of sticks with the fantasy versions of a lot of stuff. So the old time fantasy, which if you guys did not hear, they actually came out with an announcement about that as well at Games Workshop. They will in fact be making a new. It's a little ways off. They're not going to do it just yet, but they will be making essentially a new Warhammer Fantasy tabletop game. Now, my very, very much suspicion is that they are doing this specifically for one reason and one reason only, and that's because games like Kings of War and other third-party games out there, basically once they kiboshed fantasy and basically said we're no longer going to support and or make fantasy anymore, these other companies kind of they went ahead and kind of sprouted up games and made their own, obviously own version of the game, own version of IPs and things like that, but filled the niche since Games Workshop decided they didn't want to do it anymore, and they wanted to change change things up. All right. So this is the new I don't even remember what they're called. The new Black Orcs. Ugh. Can't say things. These are the new Black Orc players. I'm doing them in kind of an homage to the Iron Jaws, so that's why I put yellow on their armor and their pads to give it that feel like they are the Iron Jaws from Age of Sigmar. I gotta do that. Now I'm breaking a few of my cardinal rules, which is I'm actually painting. I'm going over this, even though a lot of the paint where I'm painting is still wet. Which is a cardinal rule of mine that I don't do, but I want to give you guys a little bit more of a speed paint, not because I want to get this done faster, but I want you guys to see more of my painting, so I'm trying to get the base coating done a little quicker than I normally do. But you know what? Obviously, the reason that you don't want to do what I'm doing from a painting standpoint is that if I were to accidentally snag an area that's already painted, I might start mixing colors, and that would obviously get me a different result than a nice pass of a color. Also, because this is contrast paints, I'm flipping the model around a lot, so I can be inadvertently changing the flow of my paints. So I may create unnecessary pooling because of the way I'm spinning the model around. But so far, it's been pretty good. And I'm not really concerning myself with how I get on the places I'm going to do the silver, because the silver will just cover up whatever contrast I paint. So I can be a little sloppy, since all I'm doing is base coating right now. Just so I make sure I get good coverage on that. This is my fake Avengers music. Kind of. Until that happens. And I like painting these orcs because the orcs are fun. What did I do? Red trunks? I did red trunks, black on the center plate. Okay. I'll usually paint. All right, let me do this guy. Let's get the skin painted first, and then I'll move on. You know, let me keep my mantra for my painting the same way, which is, you know, you always want to go from, you always want to paint big areas first, small areas last. Even though I already broke that rule because I painted things like the straps, which is why I usually do those last. I'm in a weird painting mood tonight. I feel like everything I've painted has been like it's just kind of haphazard. I'm just like painting kind of what I want. I'm not necessarily following a lot of my like routines. See what we got. I've also painted like tons of stuff with green skin tonight. I painted Green Goblin for the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. I built orcs. I painted orcs. So I've been painting a lot of green things. I'm also painting a turtle, which is another commission job. So it's like it's all green today, all green. I'm gonna have to find primer. That's the thing I'm not looking forward to. Gotta buy primer. I gotta find where I can get primer because like primer is sold out everywhere in the world, which is so annoying. And I was gonna say it's awesome. I should have said this before, but it's awesome to see you, Big Diz. Or to have you with us. Knowing him, he's probably playing Pokemon United right now, which is why he asked me that question. Or he's asking me that question. I know him too well. Now, also, if he's playing Pokemon United, that probably means that he's played it literally for like 3 weeks straight, and he probably has most of the stuff unlocked. Because I know this man very well. I'm waiting for the next yep. He's probably like oh no. No, okay. I'm intrigued. Only 2 days. Okay, that's still more than me. He still beat me. I figured that. I knew he played it more than I did. That I knew was going to be certain. I'm slapping. Okay, so so he's only got fingertips. I always make this mistake. I always paint. Oh, is that on my brush? What's debris that came off? That's interesting. I always make that mistake. I always paint the fingernails by mistake. Nice. I'm close to playing rank. I have to just level up slightly more, and I will be able to play ranked is the word, the way you say that word. Does that game support chat? I always forget with Nintendo how you have to do chat. If I'm not mistaken, I thought, wait, is that his muscle, or is that a shoulder pad? No, that's muscle. Um Nah, you gotta do Discord. Okay, that's what I thought. So you're just doing like a Discord server with folks you're playing with, right? Because you can't. There's not like a universal Discord server you could be a part of. Because that to me is the one thing that's missing from that game, and what gets very frustrating when you play it is that because Nintendo doesn't have like chat support and stuff like that, it's annoying to play a game like that, because you know that it's weird. You're playing it with the controller, so you're not playing it with a computer. So therefore, you like, because at a computer you'd use the mouse and you would like alert people or guard people, and like you'd say different things, but um, you 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 could do it, but it's like another learning curve in itself. So where it is not bad, it is not the most efficient, or does it? Or I should say, it doesn't feel like it's the most efficient. So I was getting like a little on the frustrated side when I was playing, because again, atypically, oh, that's a strap. Okay, so I got to come back in with a strap. All right, it's fine. I obviously would be communicating with my teammates differently or more, and it's hard to do that on that the way they have it set up. But like I said, if you guys want to see me play more of that, I will definitely jump on and play some more of that as well. You know, maybe not tonight, but definitely I could do it tomorrow. All right, so far we're getting all of this green in there, so you can see very quickly, like, again, just like what we were doing Goblin, very fast, you know. Now, again, I owe some of that to the contrast paint, because the contrast paint does a really nice job. Obviously, I'm going to push it a little further, like I did with the Green Goblin model. And just in case you guys, you know, if you want to take a look at that video, I like to always show the other stuff we painted tonight. But that's where Goblin is right now, which I think Goblin came out real nice. But I got to still do a little bit more work on this model. But you can see, but I'm going to do just a tiny bit more to that model, because it definitely can use a little bit more attention to it. So you can check out that video. That was the first video we did tonight. I also showed off a commission that I painted in that video too. And the color I get the most scared of when I have to use it, black. Because unlike all the other contrast colors, the minute that I use this black, if it goes on something, it is very hard to fix it. You know, because not many things will cover up that black, nor will it go well. So, but because they are the Black Orcs, I did do their main chest plates black. So, the good news is it's only one piece of their armor, and then I made the rest other colors. So, it is just getting one thing painted black, and then kind of we can forget about it from then on. But as you will see as we're painting, GW was so kind. And it's funny because I usually complain about GW not doing this. They made all of their poses so dynamic that it is very, very easy to accidentally paint in the wrong thing. So whereas I usually complain about GW and go, they didn't make the model more dynamic. They actually did that in this case, but it always hurts me a little bit when I'm doing these guys. Actually, let's do the back plate with this, and then I'm going to switch over to a smaller brush because I will murder the model if I don't. But I really like the way that I did the star player, so I do want to continue the trend of how I was doing these guys. Nice. And again, you'll see as you paint that you will have, more control of your lines and stuff. So as you do more and more painting, it becomes second nature and more natural, like when you have to do that kind of stuff. So, a lot of folks look at me and they go, how is he able to get, I've had that comment a lot from people that watch, and they're like, they're oh. They'll say like, oh wow, like the thing that they're always afraid of is they're afraid of getting into a crevice or a small part of a model. And what I tell people is that you just get better at it over time. But it does take time. Like, you have to get used to how your paint works, how your brushes work. It's not a 2-second thing. So you just get used to the medium, and then you can start to take off and do it. So don't get frustrated, as many people do early on, if you feel like you're maybe not as accurate with your brush, or you're having issues getting closer to things. Like, it's all natural, and it's just the beginning stages of painting. It's like anything else in life. You have to kind of do it before you're totally proficient at it. So, like, I could tell you already, I made a big mistake I'm about to make more of a mistake if I don't fix this. Alright, so all I'm doing now is I'm just taking some of the excess off. It's not a huge mistake, but I'm probably going to have to redo that because it got a little sloppy. But it's not the end of the world. It doesn't look terrible. It's just a little sloppy on that line. And then I'm going to actually do some more of the green really quick. But yeah, so far, so good. And we got quite a bit of this guy done. And we've only been doing this for about an hour, which is pretty good. You know, I always tell people I paint a little slower on camera because I'm worrying about how I'm holding the model and a few other things that I don't. What did I do to this model? Did I? No, I couldn't have done that. Oh, I actually didn't go. I just left it the way it was? Okay. Interesting. I don't usually do that. But I guess I felt he was good. Okay. Huh. Okay. So as I say, normally what I would do is I would just do a little bit of embellishing in there. Yeah, force of habit, guys. Sorry. I'm doing some of my, like, prep work, which I shouldn't be doing this now because I have to paint other aspects of the model, but I'm... what I'm doing now is I'm just going over muscle tones because I started finding that. But what I originally was going in to do was just... Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to see... I guess that is more orc skin. Yeah, that's muscle. This is where you got to be real careful because that black is there. And if I go if I'm too robust with the black, it could spell disaster for what's going to happen. Because if I don't let that black dry properly, I can start to get black into my green or whatever other color I'm sort of throwing in there. So I got to just be real careful that I'm not doing something stupid. Because you are supposed to give, for folks that are not aware, you're supposed to give contrast paints 15 minutes to dry before you start messing with them. Again, going back to the whole mastering your paints and knowing your paints, as you paint with the contrast paints, you'll start to understand where or when you can tell if the paint is dry or not. Do I want to do that for the mask? That could be interesting. Maybe I'll do part of it that way. And part of it another way. Alright, let me... Alright, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. So far, this is what we got. I'm pleased with what we got so far. I mean, it looks like the other guy, because I want him to look like the star player for the team, so that he's in the same running of it. No, that's not good. So I'm just giving them the basic. And it's funny because obviously I have the original Ogre team that came out with the last time they renovated or redid the box. When they re-released Blood Bowl after many years of not having a new Blood Bowl set. So I kind of did. I would call those paint schemes. I did like more of like a patriotic orc. So I made them all red, white, and blue, which I thought was pretty funny. So I'm sort of giving them the same treatment in the fact that I'm doing red shorts for them, for this team. But yeah, because I did have, or I do, I shouldn't say did have, I do have the that team. Which, if you were wondering, is still a valid team to play, because these are just a different faction of orcs. We got some butt crack. All right, so I'll have to paint that butt crack. That's funny. It's funny. It's like I love doing these videos with you guys, but I still, even with the videos, I need to like kind of take like a whole week off and just like paint for a week to try to catch up on all the models I have. It's like so ridiculous how many models I have, and I'm like trying to build and paint and do as fast as I can, but it's like never fast enough. That's why I apologize. We're, and I know you guys are liking the painting, so I don't think you're disappointed with the content I'm putting out, but I do want to do like more reviews and battle reports and all that stuff, but I need more stuff painted. I mean, like, and I wish I could afford, other places. I know they can like commission out their paints and all that stuff, but I can't really swing doing that right now, because and I don't want to, I'm not saying this to cry poverty on the channel or any of that stuff, because I don't like doing that, but the reality is it does cost money to get all this stuff. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like either I get the new stuff and review it, or I pay someone to paint the stuff I already have, and then, just ethically for myself, I don't really want to do that, because obviously and maybe you guys, you might have your own theory or judgment or whatever about that, but I think I'm a pretty damn good painter. So I think I paint very well. So it would irk me or hurt me to give someone money for something I could do myself. So, and that's not, and I hope that didn't come off like snooty. But it's like kind of the truth. It's like, I know I have the skills as a painter to paint, so why waste that money when I could buy, terrain, I could buy other stuff which would make my battle reports like better, Hmm. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Are those two separate pieces? Yeah, they are two separate pieces. So what the horns are on, yeah, so I could do a gray jaw and a yellow jaw. That would be good. Oh, man. Sorry guys, I got quiet because I'm trying to think. I was thinking of doing something one way, but then when I looked at it, I don't know if that's the right way to do it. But it looks kind of cool. I like having the yellow in a few different places. And again, going back to what I'm trying to do, I want to try to pay that homage to the Ironhides. So I think that's the right way to go. Now I'll use Griffin Charger. Again, I don't know why I'm using such a big brush today. I'm like married to this artisan brush. I mean, it's a good brush. And if you're not familiar with GW's brushes, this artisan brush, it's, you know, it is a brush that sets you back a penny or two because it's like a $26 brush. But to give GW credit for the product they made, I bought this brush a while ago and I'm still using it, so no. I cannot fault them on that. I can't fault them on the brush design. I've not tried, and I don't know if anybody in the chat has tried them. I haven't tried the new, they made some new, like, synthetic brushes, I think is what they called them. And they might not, you know, they're not like, maybe they're not marketing them as like new. I think the idea is that they're trying to make them out of a different material, because as many companies are doing with a lot of stuff, they're trying to make you know, stuff out of different materials, because if there's a material shortage on something or whatever, there, you know, people are looking for alternatives so they can continue to make the products that they need to. So we'll do the grill. So I like how that's coming out. It's looking good. I'm excited. And where are we at time-wise? Yeah, we're probably... this is almost a 2-hour-long stream. Probably going to call it quits on this guy in a moment. And then you know, like I said, we got some of the new orc models built and reviewed them a little bit. We got to take a look at some of my first looks of those. Oh, does he have like eyes? Crap. All right, so let me just do a little bit less paint. I don't know why they did that. Oh, I missed the eye. I will do blood splatter on them too, after when I'm ready for that. I'll do some blood on them. Blood's always good. I mean, it is after all called Blood Bowl. I'm just gonna do this strap. All right, so far so good. I like the way this is coming out. Forgot about his ears. Oh geez. Well, good news is that I didn't break any models and I didn't spill any contrast paint, which is what I'm more concerned about every time that something like that happens. So. Wait, hold on. Oh, he's only got a cover on one of his ears. Okay. Probably gonna do that in silver, but I'm just like blocking it out with color, so I know that that's not an ear. Oh, okay. And like I said before, if you were somebody who is just starting out painting, you know, what we have right now, like after just about, what, an hour? You know, if I wanted to, I'm not finished to the standard that I want to paint it, but if I wanted to, like, I might have to do just a little bit of touching up, but this is like, could be table ready. Like, it's pretty painted, it's decently painted, it's not like super duper high quality painted yet, but you know, we haven't done like some additional staining and edge highlights and things like that. But you know, could you put this on, put this on the table and go for it and start playing a couple of games of Blood Bowl? Absolutely. And it would be, I think it would be respectable. I think most people would like look at it and go, "Oh, okay, cool." And again, I say it a lot, but that's the whole point of contrast paints. And I just had recently, I had recently a friend of mine start, doing painting. So he started painting some other models. Wasn't GW models, but he grabbed the contrast paints, and you know, he was super super happy, super super stoked. Felt like he was able to get what he wanted to get done, quickly with no problems, and got a really decent quality out of it. So, you know, sorry guys, I just to get this angle, I had to see it. Going back to what I was saying before, that's part of why it takes me a little bit longer to paint, because I can't hold the model sometimes at the angle that I want to. Um, and that's not me complaining, because I love doing videos for you guys. It just makes my paint times a little quicker, like a little longer, because I could usually paint one of these a lot faster. So like if I'm doing this on camera, that's taking me about an hour and a half. I could, I could probably, if I wasn't on camera, I might be able to get it done in like 40 minutes if I really, really push myself. Snake. So snake bite leather is the brown that I'm using. So slightly different than the original brown that I used. I like to distinguish the sash on the bottom a little differently from color. Part of why I like to do that too is that it just makes your model look a little bit more dynamic. So I think it gives your model a nice look when it has a little bit more flair to it. I'm just gonna take some of the pooling out, because although I like the snake bite, I don't want it to be like super super dark. Oh, those are okay. Those are ornaments that he's hanging on himself, so we got to keep those differently. All right. Is there anything else I have to paint with the snake bite before I forget? I guess that's got to be snake bite. This little part here. Yeah, because that's all. There's that. And then I guess we got to paint this sash snake bite now. Because if it's tied to the belt, or if it's the sash of it tied, it's got to be the same color. All right, let's get that just up there. Nice. I got to do some metal work on him, because he's got a fair bit of metal stuff. All right. Just going to quickly do these, because I like to do the stitching with the snake bite, so it's a different quality of brown. All right, nice. And like I said, for my models, I always go a little above and beyond with the detail, because with the detail, I want whether it's my whether it's my Blood Bowl team or my Age of Sigmar army or my 40k army. I always want them to look good, because when somebody is looking at them on a tabletop that I might be playing, I want them to think of me as a commission painter and be like, I think I'm going to hire that guy for some commission work. So these are like big business cards, because I wouldn't blame anyone on the planet if you're sitting and playing a guy and he goes like, oh, well, I'm a commission painter, and like his models don't look like they are painted well. Like, I don't blame anyone for saying I don't want to hire you. So it kind of sucks, but it means I have to, work a little harder on my models. Which is usually why I'm so behind on my models. Because I have to take even longer to do them. Now, what did I do for... And I'm sorry, I keep looking at a star player I painted off camera. Okay, so I did do that, y'all. I thought I did. And then what did I do? The shoes silver? Probably did the shoes silver. Oh no, I did them as the... Oh, okay. So I did yellow shoes, and I did... And just so you guys can see, that's the star player I keep looking at. So I'm just pulling his color profile, because I want to use the same color profile for the guy I'm painting now. So they're all coherent, cohesive. All right, I think I'm gonna do the gloves, and then I may just call it quits for tonight, because I'm starting to get a little woozy, starting to get a little tired. And what's nice about doing a piece like this is that this is one of the players, so that now I'll have a player model that's painted, so I'll know how I did the colors, I'll know how I did all the scheme, so it'll make painting the next few a little faster. And for folks that are getting into painting, that is a huge time saver technique, is to if you got like units to paint or players to paint, do what's called batch painting, where you so one of two things you could do. So you could do like I do, where I work on a single model at a time, or you could, if you wanted to, and I've done this when I have a little less time, or if I'm crunching a project, I'll set up all the models and I'll just go through and, okay, cool, I'm doing my block color, so I'll be like, all right, cool, gloves are this is that. I'll go through and I'll literally paint. I'll just go and grab the models and be like, all right, cool, painting red gloves, like, and I just go through all the models and bang out the painting. So that is one way to do it. That's sort of assembly line, and that works really well for like units or something, where all the so I gotta paint some green in there. All the painting is similar, so you could just save yourself a buttload of time and get it all painted. The other advantage to doing it that way is that you'll notice as you're painting, you will get faster. So you'll, like, the first model, maybe you're a little slower because, like me, you're trying to figure out, like, your paint scheme if you didn't already have one in your mind. But then once you get the paint scheme out of the way, then you're able to just really focus. Oh, I'm going to cut that off. So we're going to make that real obvious. Oh, yeah. So these are going to just be stuff I'm going to grab. Okay. But yeah, so you'll get real fast because you'll be like, all right, cool. And, you know, you may even, especially if it's units, the models will more than likely be similar. So you can get really good at, you know, you'll learn angles, you'll learn the way you have to hold it, you'll learn all that stuff as you're painting. So you'll get some speed just from that alone. And then, of course, last but not least, the quickest way to speed up your painting is if you learn how to use an airbrush. So if you have access to and understand how to use an airbrush, that will, of course, especially for unit painting, it will speed up your workflow quite a bit. Because part of why I take a long time to paint too is that I hand paint everything. And fun fact, contrast paints are able to go into an airbrush. So the paints that I'm using now to paint this model, they are, you know, mixtured enough that they can go right into a airbrush. So that would be a huge time saver, because then you can cover areas of painting a lot faster. Again, going back to the assembly painting, you could set models up and have a whole unit that you then are able to paint very quickly. So there is a lot of time saving. Sorry. There's a lot of time saving to be had. But, of course, when you do airbrush painting, you have to have the right setup for it. There's a lot more commitment to it. You know, you have to have a ventilated area. You have to have everything set up to do so. So it's you know, it's not where it is a saver by all means. It requires you to have a setup. So for some people, they might go, "Oh, well, I'm not able to," which is kind of where I'm at. I don't have a way to ventilate the area where I would set up a spray booth. So that is part of my issue. Damn it. What was I coming back to do? Was it that I noticed? Okay, no. So this is going to end badly. Okay. So that's that. And then, yeah, I noticed that there's no green in here. Sorry guys, I want to show you. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting paint where I gotta go, and it's just a tough angle. I can't show it on, well, actually maybe I did show it on camera. Yeah, because I'm seeing spots where there's a skin that was not painted. All right, cool. Now we're all good. Possible. So, not a bad start. for our stream. So we got almost a whole nother guy painted. So we actually got we got 5 models built. I got a commission painted and done. We got Green Goblin for the most part done. So we're cooking with gas. We got a pretty nice solid painting night. If you guys found this enjoyable, please consider following the channel. Also signing up for notifications. Like I said, please check out the sponsor for the video, Undiscovered Realms, the link on my page. You also have my website, my Patreon, and my tip/donation button that's there. You can also check out our other social media. You can go on YouTube to see some of my archive videos. There were other painting projects that I was working on and have finished. Please consider following and supporting us. That follow and support is so great. Even sharing it with other people is so amazing. And, you know, if you can monetarily support us, I know this is a tough time for a lot of people. So, you know, I ask, but understand that that's not something everybody is in the position to do, and I completely get it. But, you know, that monetary support that I always ask for and talk about, it's really going to be the thing that gets me to the next level with the channel, and it's also going to be what will ensure that I can continue to get the things and the products to review. Because like I said, very few companies are sending me product. There are some, you know, and I let you guys know when that happens. But it is not a common occurrence. So when I unbox magic cards, when I unbox anything, I am paying for that out of my own pocket and usually at full price. So if you can, please support. Literally at my Patreon, you can go and support me for $1 a month. It's simple, it's easy. We're gonna be adding this week me doing some cartooning and comic strip stuff. So you'll start seeing some content on the Patreon. So if you want to get full access to that, there are tiers to do that if you're into indie comics and some fun stuff. So you'll see all of that if you become part of that community. And there'll be merch and other things coming down the pike, but I just can't swing that stuff now. Again, that monetary support can also help with me pushing those things in that direction as well. All right. Well, take care, everybody. We'll see you at the next video. As always, thank you for being a part of our stream, and I'll see you very, very soon.